Recording is on. So today we will start with something called as responsive design. Can you tell me what do you mean by responsive design? Can you tell me what do you mean by responsive design?
Basically registered to every device, tablets or PC.
Correct. So when you talk about responsive design, your system or your software, whatever you are going to build, that should see, I selected this icon. This is the element selector icon. This is the device selector icon. And here you can change the width. Your complete application should work on any of the devices. So here you can see, you can select iPhone standard edition, iPhone this one, then I don't know what is XR, iPhone 12 Pro, then iPhone 14 Pro Max, Pixel 7. If you see, content is getting occupied correctly on any of the screen design. So this is one aspect of the responsive design. Let's see another website. Popular CSS framework in the market, Tailwind CSS. What's that? It's Tailwind CSS, one of the CSS framework. Let's see this CSS framework, iPhone SE. Can you see content is automatically gets matched? You don't need to do anything. As you change screen width or as device gets changed, automatically content fits into your layout, and the foundation of these things is inside flex and grid. You build responsive designs using flex and grids. Remember that. So if you go to the responsive web design, let's go to code first. Open the folder, desktop, Mern, and here let me create new folder, day 26. Let's have index.html and app01.css. Rename index01.html. So HTML5, and here we can say responsive design. Okay. So if you see here, what do you mean by this and this? So we never discussed this thing so far, and today is the right time to discuss this thing. Can you tell me, can you imagine what is the use of this?
That is that your page can be shown in every device.
Okay. Now let's see this part, meta tags. So you will find some meta tags. If you want to make your page responsive, you will find these, at least this tag over here in the head section of the HTML. You'll find this tag at least. What do you mean by this tag? Right? See, a viewport meta tag. This tag is essential for making web pages responsive on the mobile devices. It sets viewport width to the device width. See here. What it does? It sets viewport width to device width and sets initial zoom level to the 100%, ensuring that the content scales appropriately on the different sizes. And this another tag we have written specifies the character encoding used by web page. In this example, it sets character encoding to the UTF-8, which is a common encoding for displaying international characters. These two things. Charset UTF-8 and the viewport tag. Viewport. Whatever you are going to see, that part. Am I making sense? Hello?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, basically we are like, okay, so second line is we will, I would say, the system will automatically make sure that it will fit to devices width, the content will fit with respect to device. That's the meaning of second, right?
Correct. So when you talk about meta tag, viewport tag, what do you mean by viewport? A visible section of your screen is a viewport. Visible section of your screen is viewport. You getting my point? Hello? Visible section. On the mobile, visible section is different. On the iPhone, visible section is different. On the different screen areas, that visible section is different. And that is nothing but what? Your viewport meta tag. Then charset UTF-8. What do you mean by charset UTF-8? International characters displaying like your emojis, other things can be displayed because of this. Okay, let's do something. H1 hello world.
And these two tags, do we need to write into a head tag only?
Only head tag. These are the parts of the head tag only. Okay, so this is the hello world. Open with, sorry, reveal in finder on the screen. Okay, hello world. Inspect iPad mini. Okay, and let's make initial scale. Initial scale if you can change the initial scale value, let's make 5.0, refresh it. CSS, okay, or let's make 3.1. Okay, let's remove this, close it, and now let me change it 5.0. Why? I think because of, let's remove h1. H1 might be creating trouble, and 1.0. I think my browser, because of browser it is happening like this. But when you change the initial zoom level on the mobile, okay, my mobile is not connected to it right now. Okay, let's make it 100%. So this zoom level is 100%. 3.0. Okay, on the mobile 3.0 is looking like this. Now just make it 1.0. Now if you can see here, zoom level is 71%. If I can make 3.0 initial scale, just a minute, let me check what's happening. Do I have any setting browser rendering? Different browsers may interpret the viewport differently. I think this is working. Just do like this, 1.0. Now again, width is equals to device width. Okay, so in this way we cannot test it actually. So one more concept is there, that is nothing but running this application or testing this application on your mobile. So I want to open this URL in my mobile. At that time you will see some difference over here, right? Hello? So this is a orientation. Now it is a, yeah, see here one more thing. If I add, can you see scroll bars have been appeared automatically? See here, I can look at the scroll bars. Scroll bars have been appeared. So 1.0, and here I can say now 5.0. So still scroll bars will be there, right? But whenever you open this thing on the mobile devices, the initial zoom level of the page is nothing but this thing. You getting my point? What do you mean by this thing? Hello?
Yes.
Now, now, now. So this is about the very first thing you will check if you want to make your page responsive. So this should be there. Okay. So here I can write paragraph. We checked, we studied the meta tag, meta viewport tag. Here we studied meta viewport tag. Okay, we studied the meta viewport tag. So we can stop these zooms also. We can stop these. Can you see the scroll bars also? 5.0, 1.0. So it will not work in this way. Fine. But here if you can see initial zoom level means whenever your page is getting loaded, at that time what would be the zoom? Okay. So this works typically. Viewport device, it sets the viewport width to the device width and sets initial zoom level to the 100%. This tag is essential for making web pages responsive on the mobile devices. Okay, mobile devices. Fine. Now there are a few more tags like charset we talked about, XUA compatible. If you add this tag XUA compatible means your website will work as if in this case working user agent compatibility. See now, ensures the compatibility with the Internet Explorer, ensures the compatibility with Internet Explorer. It instructs IE to use the latest rendering engine available, helping to avoid the compatibility issues with the older versions of Internet Explorer. What it does? It says that if it is a Internet Explorer, which engine shall I use? A latest engine is Edge. Is what? Edge. Microsoft Edge. So you are saying like that. If browser is this, kindly, if browser is IE, kindly use the Edge engine. Then Apple Touch icons specifies the icons for the iOS devices. When user adds, if you see, specifies the icons to the iOS devices. When user adds website to their home screen, you can check this right now in your Apple. Any website you can make a shortcut on the home screen. To the any website you can make a shortcut on the home screen. In that case, what would be the icon you can set over here? Now fav icon, can you see here there is a little icon, there is a target icon over here, these are two tildes over here. Can you see? This is the fav icon. That is nothing but what the fav icon specifies the icon displayed in the browser tab or the bookmark. Whenever you bookmark the page, what icon? So this little icon, this little icon, this little icon, that is nothing but what? Fav icon. Canonical helps prevent the duplicate content issues by specifying the preferred version of this page. So this is about the search engine optimization. Forget about this also forget about it right now, you don't need it. This tag says that these two tags are kindly similar. This tag says that if your website is having mobile app, right, you can give that ID over here. See, Play Store or the Apple iTunes, and the app ID you can give, means this website is associated with this particular app to show that these things are there. Right now, forget about it. What you need to remember, this tag, this tag, this tag, right? And the fav icon tag, favorite icon. That is nothing but what? The fav icon tag, right? Am I audible? So these tags you need to worry about, right? Now, when you talk about the responsive web design, see what do you mean by that? Is an approach to the web design and development that aims to make the web pages and applications look and function well on a variety of the devices and the screen sizes. Variety of devices and the screen sizes. The key principle of the responsive web design is to create a single website or the web application that adapts and responds to the user device. Adapts and responds to the user device, whether it's a desktop, computer, laptop, tablet, smartphone, or any other screen size in between. But we are targeting desktop, laptop, tablet, smartphone, or any other screen size in between. Right? Now, whenever you say that, one thing only we have seen, responsive viewport meta tags. Whenever you say that I am working on the responsive web design, what exactly you are doing? Fluid grid layouts, right? If you want to make your page responsive, you need to think about the fluid grid layouts, media queries, flexible images and media, content prioritization, viewport meta tag, mobile first design, and testing and debugging. And what? Testing and debugging. So when you say I am working on a responsive web design, these things needs to be considered. Fluid grid layouts, media queries, flexible images and media, content prioritization, viewport meta tag, mobile first design, testing and debugging. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now, fluid grid layouts, we have talked about this, right? Responsive designs that are relative units like percentages instead of fixed units. Remember that. Use the relative units. This is very important. So, can you tell me what are the two types of units, relative and absolute? Correct. Don't go with the absolute units, go with the relative units. That is, use percentages instead of pixels. This allows content to adopt the flow within the available screen. So we have talked about this. What do you mean by this exactly? We will see this part. Okay. Flexible images and media. Again, same max width 100%. Go with the percent based things. Images and media elements like videos are resized or scaled proportionally to fit the screen sizes. Techniques like max width are commonly used to ensure images don't overflow their container. Also, in a working with the overflow property, techniques like max width 100% are commonly used, and the overflow properties. So this also we have seen. Content prioritization. which content to show on mobile devices. So whole lot of content you cannot, the content, amount of content you are displaying on the mobile, sorry, on the desktop, same amount of content you cannot show on the mobile. So you need to decide which content need to be removed from the desktop version or from the mobile version. You getting my point? You're like a Facebook doesn't show everything in a mobile app. Agree or not? If you want to do certain things, you need to open the desktop application only. Correct? That is nothing but what the content prioritization is. Viewport meta tag, we have seen this thing. Hello? Am I audible?
Yes.
What do you mean by viewport meta tag? We discussed. I hope you have understood the content prioritization and the flexible media and the images. Fine. Then mobile first design. Okay. Let's go to one of the website, that is angular.io. Angular.io. So this website, it has nothing to do with your course, but consider this just as a website. The website, this application or this website have been created by considering mobile experience first. Website is created by considering mobile first website, or many other websites, Netflix and other thing, or Amazon and other thing. What do you mean by mobile first? You will first imagine the mobile experience. Correct? Whenever you design the system, whenever you think of the website, at that point only, right, you will think first mobile and then web, and you will design it accordingly. Why I open the Angular? Because classic website which is built by considering, can you see the menus? If you can see the top bar, then this icon, search bar. So all these keys and components they have used over here, the left menu, right? This is the mobile experience. But if I close it, it is a normal web app. But they have designed this web app. Can you see this? Can you see this? Okay, take this as an example. Sorry, take this as a homework. You may note it down. So you need to create this div, and this div would be having, can you see this slant over here? A slant line. Can you see that? Hello? But the minute I open it on a mobile, that slant line becomes the straight line. Can you see this? So your first stage, create a div. This is a one div, this is another div. So this div would be having, or both of them are separated by this. Something like this you need to build. So this is a blue color, this is gray color, but there is a slant line in between. Can you see this slant line? A homework. Remove everything. Just two divs are there, and those two divs are having this slant line. How do you implement this? Tell me. Tell me, how do you implement the slant line between? Yeah, you try it. This is a homework for you. Now, next homework. After learning the CSS, after learning the responsive web design, the minute I open it on the mobile, the slant line becomes straight line. Can you see on the mobile it is different? So this menu, close it. So can you see the menu, hamburger menu is disappeared from here. There is no hamburger menu. If you open it, hamburger menu appears like this menu. Can you see what do you mean by mobile first? So here many responsive designs are built starting with the mobile screens and then progressively enhancing the layout and features for the larger screens. Think about mobile first and then tablet, then your laptop, then desktop, then TV screens, like that. This approach ensures that the design is optimized for mobile users. Now how do you take this decision that my website should be the mobile first? Talk to your business analyst. Who are our users? What type of users, for what type of users we are developing this app? So if they say that 90% of the people would be opening our website on mobile, then you need to design this application by considering a mobile first approach. What do you mean by mobile first? Let me tell you again. This dark mode and normal mode, right? Well, this is the irrespective feature, but this search bar, then from the left hand side menu pops up on the mobile. Now can you see here on the desktop there are 3 divs. You can consider this is one div, this is another div, this is another div. Agree or not? These are 3 divs you have, correct? These 3 divs we have. Now can you imagine you might have used multiple websites throughout. How these 3 divs are shown in a mobile? They are not displayed in a one line like this on a mobile. They are displayed one below other. Can you see this? Can you see this one below other? So everyone falls down. So this falls here, this falls here, and it becomes, so row becomes column. Your row becomes what? Column. Again, you can go here and just make it responsive. Click on the responsive so that you can see some other details. If you can see here, these are the width and height. They are changing. Now just look at this menu. At what width this hamburger menu appears? Or this, yeah, see here now. So hamburger menu appears for which width? Yeah, can you see here, somewhere here? Here is the break point. 50. 1150. If I reduce 1149, hamburger menu appears. And for other things there is no hamburger menu. But the minute I go here, which means that this is a one break point. What you call it as? Break point, where a design shifts. Similarly, let's see this. What is a breakpoint for these? Can you see? At certain points they are, look at the fonts and the lines, they are changing because the percent base units are used. Yeah, see the breakpoint. 604, 603, 602, 600. Can you see to the 600 pixel mobile S, or here you can say for the 600 pixels your divs will behave like this. Your divs will behave like this. One more thing, yeah, the slant line. Can you see at what? Again, it's for the 600 pixel. 600 pixel, the slant line becomes straight line. If you check over here, something is getting changed here too. Okay. Yeah, can you see at media width 600 pixel? See here, that comes into the picture, which means that which means that whenever you talk about whenever you talk about responsive web design, or you can say adaptable designs, another word for the responsive design, what you are talking about exactly? You are exactly talking about how components, this these icons or these things will behave on the mobile. Now look at this. Now this X, GitHub and the YouTube, let us see what happens to them on mobile screen. Responsive iPhone SE, they are available. Now see, actually there was three things. There was what? Three things. But right now we don't have three things. See here, one, two, three. Content prioritization. We have seen one point over here, content prioritization. On the desktop screen, the three icons are very important. But that three icons are not important on the mobile. So out of three, which is important? As a developer, you don't have right to take this call. This is the business call. As a developer, you cannot say this thing, I'm just going to show X over here. Okay, that's not your call as a developer. That has to be decided by stakeholders in your agile team, business team, more precisely. Now see, they are removing something and just they are keeping, look at the angular icon also. Angular icon is also, what you can say, reducing. Yeah, and see here, the breakpoint for this is 4112 pixel. Can you see here it is showing two things? Here it is showing 425, it is showing two things, X and GitHub. So here it is showing three things. See, they are not, if you can see, you might be thinking that they are going or there is a scroll bar and after the scroll you can see that, but no, they have removed these things and prioritize only one thing, that is GitHub. This is GitHub icon. So for certain things, they have decided what to show and what not to show. That is nothing but what? Content prioritization. So we discussed about this part already. We discussed about this part. Okay, let's see the image also. I will show you image. Inspect this image. And can you see max width 250? See here, max width 250. Min width is 250 pixel. Width is 50%. So minimum 250 pixel should be there. Can you see it is not reducing below 250? So this is a weird design. This will not work in any ways. So you don't need to design a website for this kind of or 74 pixel width. This will never happen, right? So be, what you can say, logical when you are thinking. You may start from the iPhone SE, right? Minimum width, can you see min width, min height? These are the part of responsive things, and this is the icon. If you see 150 pixel by 150 pixel icon is okay. Min width, max width. Here they have applied min width. If I do something like this, Can you see how small icon becomes? There is no min width over here. Getting my point? There is no min width. Why min width is important? Because of this. Just enable it, and it will not allow you, or it will not allow devices to reduce the width. Even if you see, this is a row, this column, this lines, these two text lines and triangular, they are in a row, but at certain breakpoint they becomes column. Can you see here? See here, right? How? This is by a mercy of one concept that you didn't know, or we didn't learn yet, media queries. So we discussed about content prioritization. Practically, we discussed about these images and the media, viewport meta tag, then mobile first, and last, if you can see, testing and debugging. Now do not consider that you will develop these systems in a one go. You will develop application like this in a one go. Absolutely not possible. If you think that you will develop this mobile first application like this in a one shot, that will never happen. Lot of trial and errors techniques you need to apply. So responsive web design requires thorough testing on the various devices and browsers to ensure that layout and functionality work as intended. The browser developer tools, they give you, they help you at the certain level, right? But before you deploy your application, you must test it with all compatible browsers. I'm repeating it again. Whenever you deploy your application or develop your application, it is hard to create your application in one go, responsive web application in one go, because you are supporting multiple screen widths, you are supporting multiple screen aspect ratios. So there would be lot of trial and error would be involved. Correct? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes.
Is it clear whatever I am saying?
Yes, good.
Now, now mobile first design, viewport tags, and the fluid grid layouts. Let us find this in your application. How do you find grid or flex is used or not? Can you tell me? How should I find it here? How shall I find it? Grid or flex is used or not?
On the right, CSS becomes
So here is the CSS. Where should I check?
yeah, you can see the first line exception, the second.
Yeah, now this is open in front of you, and that's why you can say immediately. But correct answer is go to your layout over here, and inside the layout there would be the flex tag. Can you see flex tag? See here. This is a flex. This is a flex. This is a flex. This is a flex. Just search for this and click over here. It will show you the flex. And here if you see flex directions, a lot of things you will find over here. Can you see this little icon over here? Open the flexbox editor. Open the flexbox editor. Flex direction, flex wrap, align content, justify content, align items. Align content. So what they have used inside this, you can see flex direction column they have used, and align content center they have used over here, right? If you just take the cursor over here, align content center, then flex start, flex end, space around, space between, and stretch. Now when you say these, when you look at these things, align content, what do you mean by align content? What do you mean by flex wrap? What do you mean by align items? We have studied all these things in detail. And that's why on the Friday I said that revise it. So whatever we would be doing hence from now, all those things would be getting used directly like this. I will not explain what is a flex wrap while learning JavaScript. Right? You can ask the question, I can revise it also, no problem. But in depth, we have studied what is a flex direction, flex wrap, align content, justify content, align items. Yes or no? At that much depth, we cannot discuss it at the time of JS because a motive of the particular session is different. Correct?
One question like
Yeah.
so when we say display flex and we get this box, so are these directions predefined or can we change it like on the fly? Like what is this like?
See, there are four directions only. Flex direction, what is the default direction?
Yeah, column.
Default direction is row.
Okay.
When
No,
you say,
here I'm saying like
yeah, here they have specifically set it.
okay.
Here they have specifically set it as column. But when you say display flex, there are four directions only. What is this? Row, this column, row reverse, and column reverse. Only four directions you can set. That's it. There is no fifth one.
Okay, I'm saying like are these boxes clickable? Like can user click
Ah,
on
we
that
can
and
click
change
it.
it?
See, we can
Okay,
click it.
that's what I was thinking. So user can change it based on like here
Yeah,
that will get automatically applied, right?
correct.
Oh,
So we have studied these things, right? But I didn't show you this dialogue at that time. Otherwise, this would be very much easier for you. Now it's the time. And still there are a lot of things that I didn't told you because I want you to type the code by your hand and you need to check what do you mean by exactly row reverse. If you do from here, you'll understand easily. But you need to type it first. What do you mean by row reverse? First, you need to see what is the row. Then you need to see what is the row reverse. And then you need to see what's a column reverse. Okay. Now, my question was, how do we check? So this is the one thing. So just search for the flex pills. This is the flex pill over here, flex pill over here, or go to the layout, right? Can you see flex boxes? So I have shown you this thing. There are no grid things over here, but under the flex, these many things are there. They are utilizing flex box in it. See here. These many things are there who are using flex boxes. This is one flex. Can you see? Whole. This is toolbar, another flex. Whatever button, hamburger, MDC, AIO search. This is a flex. If you go to this flex, you click on this flex. You may check it from here also. Yeah, so this we have discussed, but I wanted to show you how many flex and grids are there in your project. How do you check? Just go here and search, just minimize flex box, this grid overlay, only one grid is there. Can you see here? Only one grid is there. See, this is the grid they have created. Display grid. Can you see display grid? Grid template columns for 1FR. What do you mean by FR? Whole website is a grid. Example, whole web app is a grid. A main container of this is a grid, display grid. Not a main, I think the footer one is a grid. In a footer, AIO and this. Okay. What is this after? What is this colon after? What is this after? Can you tell me? What is that after? Do we have studied it or not?
Yeah.
Now see, whenever you work, if you want to become a good engineer, front-end engineer, right? First, you need to see how they have implemented. From where this after is coming. What do you mean by this after? If you see, what do you mean by after? If you remember, we have studied something called as pseudo elements. After, similar to the before, the pseudo element inserts the content after the content of the element. Something is getting inserted after the content of the element. So this much data is getting added after the content of the element. Can you see footer colon after? Now you need to inspect it, how exactly these things are happening. So I'm again telling you, you have nothing to do with the Angular. Being a React developer, you have nothing to do with the website. Why I am opening this website in front of you? Mobile first design, they have classically implemented that concept, and use of other things like grid, a flex and other systems they have implemented correctly, right? So this is what you can say. This is the fundamentals of responsive web design. So when we will implement responsive web design tomorrow, you should be very much aware of what exactly we are doing. Let me push this much code. Responsive CSS3, responsive web design. So nothing fancy in the responsive web design. So all these things we already have learned all these things. Only thing is remaining in the responsive web design is media queries. 1 or 2 sessions are enough for this. We will see that tomorrow. Okay?
Okay.
So that's it. Let's call it for a day. We'll meet tomorrow. 6 or 7? 6. My 6 p.m. Whatever your timing is. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Please practice. Please revise the things. Notes are already shared with you. If you want to revise particular video, go and revise it.
I've
Videos.
already like started 2 questions, but yeah, we can start like tomorrow.
Sure. And one more thing, your practice should be 1 or 2 days behind me. Means today, if I am teaching you responsive design, you should be on the grid first lecture deliberately. So new things would be in front of you. Also, you are revising the previous things, right? 1 or 2 lectures, just 1 or 2 lectures, you should lag behind me.
Right, got it. Yeah.
Okay. Fine then. Let's call it for a day. Thank you.
Good. Yeah, thank you.